All right, so we can see we have one confirmation. I did want to mention, since we're using the absolute minimum fee that we could possibly use, our transactions are basically going to be last in line. Since it's a self-CoinJoin and I'm just doing this to pretty much put these coins in cold storage, it's not a big deal. I don't mind waiting a little extra time, so I would rather save the Satoshis instead of spending to get first in line. If you're doing PSBT CoinJoins with a bunch of other people, okay, maybe, yeah, you want to pay a little more, and that's totally at your discretion. You could just make the fee payments whatever you want. One thing I didn't mention is that fee payments are the amount that you leave out of your transaction. So when you're creating the transaction, any amounts that you create as these outputs, whatever amount that you leave off, as you saw before, I didn't pay enough, so I just changed all the 3s to 1s. So we were paying 2 extra Satoshis on each transaction there. By just changing that value, it increased the fee amount. So it just takes whatever these input amounts are, and the difference between the outputs and the inputs is your fee amount. So here we have 411 sat difference, basically 4 cents at today's rates. So now that we can see we have a confirmation, let's just go back into our console and the full node, and we'll just run list unspent. And you can actually just copy that from the little guide that I have. I'm actually running this out of Notepad, so if you have Notepad, you could just copy it from the GitHub page, paste it here, and then run everything. So one of the things I want to point out now that we did this CoinJoin is that our transaction IDs for everything in the wallet are all the same. So if we want to do multiple rounds of CoinJoins, this is going to become very easy. And the thing is these addresses on chain, no one's going to know that I own all these different addresses. These are each separate child addresses signed with their own private key. They look totally unique on the blockchain, and if I don't do anything to harm my privacy, then no one's going to know that these are connected to each other, and we could just do round after round of these CoinJoins. So all right, without further ado, let's get going. So now the amount here that we have in our wallet is this, so we'll basically just do the same math that we did last time. So let's just clear everything out here, and we'll paste our value. And let's assign a Satoshi value. Let's use 500 sats this time, since last time we were cheap. Let's actually just chop off this whole 524. So we'll subtract 0.12345 and then 524. Okay, so we have this round amount, and we're just going to divide that by 4. That is going to be our CoinJoin amount. So we'll just go ahead and copy this into our template. And like I said before, I'm just weird, and I'm going to type this out because I don't like to get errors. If Bitcoin Core doesn't like one little thing, if you don't have a comma right or anything, it's going to give you an error. So it does help you. So I'm just going to copy this, and just like last time, we're going to paste this into our CoinJoin amounts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's go ahead and get some addresses just like we did last time. I think you're going to see that this is going to go extremely quickly comparative to last time. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing. So 4 inputs, 4 outputs. Oops, I did a paste instead of a copy. Let's get rid of that. So copy. And here we're going to go ahead and paste these into our address field. So address 1, address 2, address 3, and address 4. It's always a good idea to check the last few digits, make sure you actually do have unique addresses there for each value. So now the transaction ID, once I copy one of these, the transaction ID is going to be the same for each, but our V out is different. So that was silly, I didn't mention that before, sorry. But now you can see kind of how these V outs work. It's basically saying in the transaction, how is this structured? So in this transaction, we have this output 1, or output 0, output 1, 2, and 3. So all I've got to do here is double click, Control C, and I'm going to just paste, transaction, paste, paste. So all of those are there, and our V outs we know are 0, 1, 2, and 3. So simple as that. We've created our transaction, and let's just copy it, we can paste it, and hit enter. And there we go. We've created our second CoinJoin. Simple as that. So I don't know why I'm doing this. Double click, Control C to copy, and we're going to just decode as usual. And let's decode the raw transaction. I'm going to hit space and Control V to paste. And here you can see our outputs. We have our 4 outputs. Here's the 4 witness transactions that we're spending from. All looks good. So let's go ahead and we will sign our transaction. and we're going to use the transaction with wallet. And this is actually what signs each of those addresses with a unique private key. So each of those addresses has their own public key, and they all have their own unique private key. All right, so now that we signed our transaction, there's nothing left to do but send. And as long as we didn't mess up on the fees, this should be all right. If we did, do the same thing on the math. Nope, we look good. And you can actually see here the amount that we spent is the negative 524 BTC. Now we're going to 524 sats. And here we go is our transaction ID. So let's just jump back in. Let's take another look at this Explorer, the testnet Explorer. We're going to paste our transaction, and since we're running a full node, we've already submitted this to the network. It just should show up online. And here we go. There's our 524 sats in fees, and here's our 4 inputs, and these are now 4 equal inputs and 4 equal outputs. So this should be getting us a little closer to one of these nice mixes. So you may need to do several mixes to get this type of an outcome. I think the more that you do, the better. As you can see in this transaction, we paid about 5 cents in today's value. And for the first transaction, I think we paid about 4 cents. So these 2 coin joins cost us about 9 cents to do. So next, we'll take a look at doing some coin joins with other people. So we'll do some more creative things with the values here. So we'll actually make them more workable to do some mixing with other people. This is a really cool way to do some coin joining without paying too much or losing very much stats anyways. You also don't have to do worry about mixing coins with other people. Oh, am I mixing with the plus token people, or am I mixing with this or that? Or I honestly don't think that's a concern, but if you're one of the Trace Mayors of the world that doesn't want to mix with bad people, you could still get the benefits of the Bitcoin network very simply. And be totally self-sovereign in doing that. You won't need any third-party software, any third-party anything. All right, well, thanks for your time, and join me in the next time for SPTs with other people, coin joins.